How's it going, guys? It's Sniped. This is going to be a first of probably 8 or 9 videos going over the Patriots playbook. I rank this to be probably either first or second out of the offensive playbooks in the game right now. Anything that can compete with that is probably going to be the Saints playbook, because I've seen the Saints playbook almost every single game that I play. But the Patriots is definitely next up there. And even when people aren't using the Patriots, they'll still use split close, just not split close Pats. But this playbook, I know a lot of people think that, you know, if you're running the Patriots playbook, you're either running split close or maybe you're running bunch. But there's so many different formations that you can sprinkle in, just so it's almost as if you're running Ask Madden, but you actually know what you're doing. And they'll never just see the same formation every single time, to the point where they just expect things different out of you. And they might not even remember when they see split close. They'll just think it's some other formation because they're just, you know, you don't have a concrete scheme. There's so many different plays that you can run in here. And but for today, I'm going to be going over the split close, which is probably, like, you're going to use this one the most. I've won games literally just using this, because there's people that are out there that have no idea how to stop this. They always run cover 3, which this burns cover 3, and they're just not going to know what to do. It's going to be split close. I run an ace offset and doubles. I don't touch wing flex weak. There's no good plays in there. But starting off, when you run split close, when you start off a game, you're going to want to set your audibles. Go down halfback wheel should be the L1. Then I go one down and I put extract trail at the square. That's vital. You must have extract trail on your audibles. And then power row, I like to swap that out for halfback draw, just because I think it's a better run than power row. I think you'll just get more yards with it. And then PA wide shot stays the R1. But if you like to scramble out with your quarterback, you could run PAF slide there if you're more comfortable, but I think the Y shot is a 10 times better play. You're going to want to start off with halfback wheel, and really, since this burns cover 3, I'm just going to come out in cover 2, probably Tampa 2, try to find a deep yellow. So this Tampa 2 has a deep yellow. This is probably the best defensive play that you can use to stop this, making a couple adjustments, and you'll have most of these routes down, but not all. So when you're running split close, especially this wheel play, I like to put Hogan on a drag. You can also put him on a slant, but I would start with the drag and then kind of mix in the slant if you feel like you can get more yards, if you feel like the user is making that part of the field open, so you won't have to be stuck with 2 yards. You'll have 4 or 5 or maybe more instead. Your first read, if you've ever ran or spammed sail against the CPU, a sail concept is like how Gronk is going out there and Burkhead is on the table route underneath. Really, this will just mess with cloud and hard flats. Hard flats may go for the running back, and if they do, then you'll be able to throw to Gronk, and then the other way around. And normally, you'll have Burkhead open for the first couple plays of the game. I think even the last game that I played, I started off a drive with this and I got a 70-yard touchdown, just because Burkhead gets wide open, and it doesn't really matter what they're running. If they're running hard flats, they don't get out there fast enough, and they back up a little bit, and it forces them to make an adjustment to get on Burkhead, because you're going to be able to hit Burkhead every single time. Put a fast wide receiver out there, and he'll get you 2 to 3 more yards on that. So another thing that you can do, if we just slant or drag, another thing, you're really going to be looking for the post over the middle that Edelman's running. If people aren't guarding that, then you're going to have a 30-yard gain every single time. Now we have a deep yellow there, so we could throw in the window that we do have. But a lot of the times, if you've ever experienced split close and people have spammed it against you, you're probably going to always be mindful of that post route, because it's the most dangerous. You know, you can give up Burkhead for 4 to 5 yards and be okay with it. Of course, when it adds up, it's still first down, but you can't give up the post every single time. You're gonna have to user it as a defender, and if you don't, then you're gonna have to make serious adjustments to stop that post route. The post is definitely the most dangerous. A setup that you can have is, so you drag there, motion them out. This just disguises it, because once we get to extract trail, you're going to want to motion out. So it disguises when you are running this formation, just so they won't entirely know what you're running. Of course, you can block the running backs. You can do whatever you want. To not blab on about this forever, I'm going to keep it at that. Definitely experiment with yourself, but this is probably the perfect setup that you can run. This is what I run. I've ran this all game, and I've had success with it. So the next one is drag trail. I'm going to move the ball back just because this is more of a burn play. I use this regularly too. Like, it's not just like a play that you're only going to be able to torch cover 3 with. This works really well against the CPU for some reason. So I definitely use it in your solos, but works even better online when you're able to torch them deep. I would recommend you putting, if you play Mutt and you have fast guys like Tyreek Hill, because I know that you can get him from that pack in the beginning. You're going to want to put him where I think Hogan may be running. I'm not really sure, but if we run cover 3 Sky, how about that? So Hogan, yes, it's Hogan's route. That's where you're going to want a fast receiver. I really should have put a fast receiver in there, but I'm going to show you that even with a slower receiver like Hogan, it still gets open. So when you notice that they're in cover 3 with that one safety deep, you'll know immediately that this play is going to work. What you can also do is if they're in a cover 2 shell or something like that, and you can motion them out, and it doesn't show here, but when they have those 2 safeties deep, one safety will actually come down right where the guy across from James White is. So then you'll also know that it's cover 3. And what I would do from there is block the running back because you're not going to need him. You won't be throwing to him. You're really just looking deep. Now, obviously, Edelman is going to be wide open most of these times. But why this play is really good is because as a user, you see that drag coming across the middle, and you're like, I'll just cover that because drags are really easy in this game. You can get a lot of yards off drags, and a lot of the plays in this playbook are from drags. So the user takes that away, and you'll be able to have Hogan deep. If I can get the protection, I know it's on all Madden, so you probably won't get that. But you can see that if Hogan keeps going, I'll even max protect here because I don't really think it matters. But you'll see Hogan coming across the middle. Oh, and he doesn't even bite down, but you'll still be able to get it, and he'll still be able to catch it. I know he dropped it there, but to be safe, I would motion out White and then just block. The corner will come down, as you can see, and obviously, like, you need to wait a little bit longer, but I don't really have the time for it, and it still worked. But you can just imagine that being Tyreek Hill, he's getting to that spot faster. And when you lead him to the left, he's getting to the ball faster and getting more separation. So you can run this stock as well. If you're just mindful, you know, you have that wheel there, and you can spin, get some more yards. That's a good check down play to go to. But obviously, if they're giving you the right hard flat over there, then you're going to want to be running halfback wheel. You have a much better route there. But that's why I said with halfback wheel, that's why you want to motion them out. So it doesn't look like if you're motioning them out here every single time for this play, it's not obvious that you're running extra trail. Let's see if I can, I don't get it off, but you can see if I let him, he was open. Next play, I can actually just audible into it. It will be PAY shot. You can run this in a variety of ways. I start by blocking the running back. I don't want the animation. You can drag Hogan, which I put him on a drag. You can motion him over here, and right as he gets behind Edelman, you can hike it, and then you have a high-low read, which you're going to want to be throwing to the drag a little bit earlier. If you notice that it's open, you don't want to wait till he's over to the right. What you can also do is you can streak Hogan, put him on a fade, and you'll probably have Edelman open. I'm going to slide right just so I can roll out. But that's something that you're going to be able to do, and you'll have him here. Poor throw by Brady, but you'll have that more than not. A user may, like, if you keep scrambling outright when you're running this play, which, you know, you shouldn't be running any of these plays too much. You don't want to be predictable. The second that you become predictable, you could throw a pick at any given time. A user can lurk up if you're running the high-low too much. And, you know, he's going to notice that you're getting maybe tired of that drag and that you might want to go deep. So then you just throw it, and then it just gets picked. So that's why you want to sprinkle these plays around. You don't want to run this play too much, but that's why it makes it more special, because PAY shot is very explosive if they're not guarding it. And when you just throw it around and you don't use it a lot, you'll get a lot of yards when you do run it. So that's that. There's not much to be explained. You can just put him, Hogan, on either a drag and motion him, or you can put him on a fade and look for Edelman. Of course, Gronk could be open too. It's just about your reads. And then moving to ace slot offset. If I finished in gun split close, I would say, you know, everyone knows how to run mesh. There's no adjustments there. There's no adjustments to the slip screen, because I'm not even sure if you can hot route a slip screen. Z-spot is basically just that sail concept again. I run that in the red zone sometimes if I'm looking for the table route to get a couple yards. And really, you know, I never run any of the other plays, as you can see from the amounts that they were called. In gun ace slot offset, these plays don't really require that much maintenance. You don't really have to hot route everything and motion everybody. Just kind of like, you don't want the stupid play action animation. And you're looking across from Gronk and Hogan. But really, if they're running a cover 2, it won't even be open. You'll probably have Dwayne Allen. And this will happen almost every single time. You will almost every single time have Dwayne Allen. And if you don't, someone's going to be deep across the field. This is mostly just a cover 2 beater. I run this if I see that they're spamming Tampa 2. We don't get Dwayne Allen immediately, but when we do, we'll have him, and you'll get 8 to 10 yards from that, which is good. I just like to run it if I see they're spamming cover 2, keep them honest. It runs against Tampa 2 really well. If I set my audibles, I don't normally set audibles on this because it takes too much time. If you're running so many formations, you don't want to just like go in before every single play and just be like, you know, this goes here and keep sending your audibles. It just gets annoying after a while. But I try, if I can, I'll keep sail there, and instead of stick, I'll put posts. Because PA post shot's already in there. But post is something that I actually do run a lot. Because I run split close the most. This is another play that I tend to like spam a little bit just because it messes with the user. He doesn't really know what to do. You have Allen coming across the middle on that drag. You're really never looking for Hogan or Edelman. I mean, they're kind of just a last resort. If you see they're running man, maybe Hogan will be open. But you're just noticing it's kind of a high-low read with the whole Allen Gronk thing. You will need time in the pocket for this. It does take a fair amount of time. Like, not as much as like PAY shot if you're looking downfield, but for a short play, it does take a while to develop. Burkhead, what he does is when you have Allen coming across the middle, you'll have a linebacker, maybe a user, tug over and try to take away Allen because he's going to be open a lot. And then Burkhead just comes out of nowhere and makes them either turn around or he's wide open like he was here. And I'll take 8 yards every single time. I think that's great. Just one adjustment, putting Allen here. You can see if I get enough time, like Allen's wide open because number 23, who just tackled me, kind of shaded more towards where Gronk was. He wanted to cover Gronk. He wanted to stay in his zone. And even if you run it like this, that you know, the Dwayne Allen, I think, coming to the left right there, frees up Burkhead, but he's open either way. Actually, I think if I can just audible here, we can go into Y sail, which basically is just a sail concept, like with those little levels. It's just about making a good read. It's nothing to it. There's no like OP like coverage beater. It's just like find someone who's open and make that high-low read. Yeah, I like to run this a lot if they just don't really know what they're doing in the hard flats and they're just the corner goes too deep. But again, I don't run this play too much, the levels Y sail, because I'd much rather run split close and hit the halfback, because sail concept in there too. Of course, you could see how that circle's going deep and it frees up Edelman. You know how it works. It all makes sense. But I run this maybe once a game, just if I'm trying to get 5 yards, just a quick first down play. It works really well. So I think that wraps up the ace. Moving on to the next one, I'm going to go over doubles. I don't mess with this formation just because it has like inside zone. I guess that's pretty cool. And a screen. And that's about it. It really just has a bunch of dud plays that aren't good. So doubles, this is where I run the ball. If I'm running the ball, I'm running an inside zone out of gun doubles. I run the ball with this formation almost every single time if I'm running it out of gun. Of course, I run single back and I form, and that is very effective. But 0-1 trap and inside zone, this is going to be your kind of like run formation. Don't mess with any of these three plays here because they all have that motion, and if you ever like chew clock, you know that chewing clock with a guy in motion is like suicide. It takes like 40 minutes for him to run, and he jogs, and even when normally the ball would be snapped, it just doesn't get snapped for some reason. You see why sail there again, just another sail concept, and you can put the slot receiver on a drag or something, help yourself out. You can also run halfback angle, but it's basically the same thing as that a slot offset, because you have that running back route on posts, and then you also have those sail concepts. But really, what we're looking here is PA read. This splits cover 2. If I run Tampa 2 again, maybe cover 2 sink, just to mix it up. Block the running back. Actually, I'll just max protect because we need a lot of protection here. Move Decker in, rip Decker. Patriots must have been too tiring for him, but you'll have that open, and if they come down, then you'll be able to split the safeties. Again, you're going to want a fast run receiver out there. Tyreek Hill works perfectly. I use Tyreek Hill when I run this play, but just come in the middle. See if I can split. You won't always be able to split because if they have that deep yellow, what that does is it just opens up the middle of the field, so you'll be able to throw Edelman there. If I had 2 working controllers, I would just man them up, but you could understand how that works. Without that yellow deep zone, Decker's open, because essentially it's like almost like a cover 3. If you were to, it's basically like just a shorter version of a blue zone, but without that, Decker does get open, lead up into the middle, and you'll have him. I'll see if I can force it. Probably be picked off, but we can try it. Here, he is in motion. Yeah, gonna be very hard to get that over that deep yellow, and he's actually the one that ends up swatting it down. So you could low ball it deep, so he just falls to the ground, doesn't take a big hit from Sean Taylor. In MUT, everyone has Sean Taylor, so you want to be looking out for that. But that's just one play that I throw around. It's not my favorite. If I'm trying to go deep off cover 2, I will run it though. Another one is fade halfback wheel, but this is just like, there's nothing to that one. There's not much adjustments. P. Reed is the only one that I ever make adjustments to. Really don't run much from there. But to conclude, I'll probably just fit in one more formation. I like to run strong a lot if I'm running the dive. So I'll run single back. That works really well. And I'll throw in slants. So if he tries to blitz on a man blitz, for me running dive too much, then he'll just get caught on slants in the middle. It's something that you can do to mess with your opponent. Again, another sail concept with Z close PA sail. You can just cancel the play action, throw to the table route, but this time it's actually the fullback, so might not be as fast. That's why I don't run it, but it is interesting. I will call it eventually in game, but I like to run the ball a lot out of strong. Recently, I've picked it up recently. I haven't ran it a lot, but I know that it does work. And then single back, I don't mess with a lot of single back really. If I'm just trying to dive, I'll run it, and then maybe again if they try to man blitz, you can run mesh. You can mess them up that way. Not much to run here otherwise. Just split close, ace offset, and doubles is what we covered today. Tomorrow I'll probably try to fit in trips tight end, bunch, tight slots, and trips tight end flex. It's another good one. I like trips tight end flex. But those will probably be tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you can put this into your online games. I know that they work online. I always take into account the user. I know a lot of these guys, when they do stuff on YouTube where they try to show you plays, they are kind of vague. They sound like they've been smoking for 30 years, and they just like don't. They take way too long, and their plays don't even work online because they're running it against a CPU. And of course, they burn CPU and man coverage on CPU, but no one runs man coverage online. And if you do, you'd probably be able to manufacture a win on your own. You don't really need a scheme for that. You need Tyreek Hill alone on the right side on a streak if they're ever running cover 1. But no one runs man, and a lot of these guys, they'll be showing you plays that only be man. This beats cover 2 and cover 3. But I started with gun split close just because it's the best. You can run almost every single play out of this formation except for maybe wide receiver corner or Y out. Every other play works. It works really well, and I've ran this formation alone and won games. So if you can take this and you can also sprinkle in ace and doubles, which I've started to do along with all the other stuff, you'll be able to win so many more games. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.